The talented film and music composer was called Norbert Glansberg. His dream was to compose music that would be world known, something like an anthem which everybody would sing. Unfortunately, in the third year of his promising career, he found his name in the NSDAP newspaper, where Goebbels marked him as a degenerate Jewish artist. And then he realized he has to leave his country, all his family and friends to save his naked life. Trying to survive in his new exile in France, he was performing as a pianist of a band, playing in Paris clubs until he met Edith Piaf in one of them. Coincidentally, it was the first Edith Piaf's performance in a music club ever, and he immediately fell in love with her voice. However, their collaboration didn't begin until 3 years later. Because when they met, Edith was a beginner, but Norbert's career as a composer and pianist was just taking off. But he was unlucky. Anti-Semitism was everywhere in the time. After those 3 years, the France's Professional Association of Songwriters and Composers blocked his income even before the Battle of France, thus losing his livelihood. Fortunately, he was Edith Piaf's pianist at the time already. Except for this job, he was improving Edith Piaf singing and writing songs for her, why she became his only lifeline, and then they became lovers, but their love was not a bed of roses. They began their tour in the free southern France, which was called Vichy France after the name of the capital, but it was full of nationalism and anti-Semitism as well. Norbert was living a life in anonymity, using false identities and carrying the burden of humiliation and living in fear. His life seemed somehow stable until July 14, 1942, the Bastille Day, which is the National Day of France. On that day, the Nazis suddenly arrested 30,000 Parisian Jews. The following year, when the Nazis invaded Vichy France, Norbert was arrested and was waiting for 3 months to be deported to a concentration camp in Germany. Edith Piaf did her best to free him. She saved his life with the help of her friends and some financial help as well. After this accident, Edith Piaf was finding many shelters for him and financed his living expenses. During the last 2 years of the war, he had to change the shelter at least 6 times, still running, feared for his life every single day. Can you imagine that? Well, these are the conditions of which the music of the song was composed, and if you listen, you can hear it. You can even hear his heartbeat there. So, when he introduced it to Edith, she was impressed. By the way, Norbert Glansberg composed many songs during his life. His music accompanied 24 films, for example. And this one is the most known. A big part of the success of the song are sensitive lyrics respecting the story. The lyricist was a common friend of Edith and Norbert, Henri Conti, who wrote the lyrics. It took him 2 years to finish. Overall, Henri wrote 18 songs just for Edith, and this one is the most famous of them as well. In one day, when Norbert lost his patience, called Edith at 3 a.m. Where about the song? Impulsive Edith, who had just received the text, exploded. Are you an imbecile or what? We have made the text with Henry and it's called Padam Padam. And then she prophesied it will be the biggest hit in the next year. And then she sang it for him on the phone. That put him at ease, as he confessed in his interview many years later. In fact, the song has become the international anthem of Paris and love. When I came to the studio to record this song, I was taken aback. It was my first experience in this kind of environment, and the owner shocked me even more. He took his new camera to experiment on me. Well, these are the conditions of which the clip was produced. So I hope, guys, you will enjoy it. See you next time, your Athena.